Potentiometer. Potentiometer is a device which is used to compare the EMF of two cells or to measure the internal resistance of a cell or to measure the potential difference across a resistor or a cell in the circuit. A potentiometer consists of a long wire having 10-meter length and with uniform area of cross-section and with high resistivity. This wire is fixed on a wooden board. This is usually done by 10 pieces of wires, each one having length 1 meter, fixed parallel to each other on a wooden board with its endpoints are connected by copper strips so that the combination adds a single stretched wire of 10-meter long. A meter scale is fixed parallel to the potentiometer wire on the wooden board. The end A of the potentiometer wire is connected to the positive terminal of the driving cell. From negative terminal of driving cell to the key, then to rheostat, then to end B of the potentiometer wire. This is known as the primary circuit of the potentiometer. This is the schematic diagram of a potentiometer. This is the potentiometer wire and end A of the potentiometer wire is connected to the positive terminal of the cell. Then from negative terminal of the cell to the key, then to the resistance box or rheostat, and finally end at B. When the key is pressed, current I flows through the potentiometer wire from A to B. Potential gradually decreases from A to B. Potential gradient. Potential drop across the entire length of a potentiometer wire, that is VL, equals current through the potentiometer wire I into total resistance of potentiometer wire R, that is VL equals I into R. This is according to Ohm's law. But R equals rho L divided by A. So VL equals I into rho L divided by A, where rho is the resistivity of the material of potentiometer wire, L is the entire length of the potentiometer wire, and A is the area of cross-section of the potentiometer wire. Since I, rho and A all are constant, it can be replaced by another constant K. Then expression becomes VL equals K into L, or K equals VL divided by L. Here VL is the potential drop in the entire wire and L is the entire length of potentiometer wire. So VL divided by L is the potential drop per unit length of potentiometer wire. So K is potential drop per unit length of potentiometer wire. We can call it as potential gradient. So potential gradient is the potential drop per unit length of potentiometer wire. Its SI unit is volt per meter. Principle of potentiometer. If L is the particular length of a potentiometer wire, then potential drop across particular length of potentiometer wire that is V equals potential drop per unit length means potential gradient that is K into corresponding length of potentiometer wire that is L. So V equals K into L or K equals V by L. This is the another expression for potential gradient. Since K is a proportionality constant, V proportional to L means when the length of the considered wire increases, the potential drop across it also increases. So, the principle of the potentiometer is potential drop across any portion of the wire is directly proportional to the length of that portion provided area and current through that wire remains constant. This can be verified by using a voltmeter which is connected as shown in the figure. When we move jockey from end A to end B, the length of the potentiometer wire increases. So, the potential drop in that wire also increases. This can be verified by seeing the increasing value of voltmeter reading. Consider a circuit with cell, key and three resistors as shown in the figure. When the key closes, current flows through the circuit and potentials drops across the resistances. We know Ohm's law V equals R into I. In series combination, current is constant, that is V proportional to R. So, when resistance value increases, more voltage drops across it. The potential of the cell is 8 volt since 4 volt drops at first resistance. Remaining potential at this point is 4 volt and from this again drops 3 volt in the second resistance. So potential at this point is 1 volt. Finally, remaining potential 1 volt drops across third resistance. So potential at this point is 0. Potential drop in first resistance is 4 volt. Potential drop in first and second resistance together is 7 volt. Potential drop in three resistors together is 8 volt. That means when we move from left to right side, potential drop across the resistance increases. Consider a circuit with a battery, key and a potentiometer wire as shown in the figure. When key is closed, current flows through the potentiometer wire. Since it is a resistance wire, potential drops across the wire. Since 1 volt drops in this length, potential at this point is 7 volt. Again, 1 volt drop in this length, so potential at this point is 6 volt. Since 1 volt drop here and 1 volt drop here, the total potential drop in this length is 2 volt. So total potential drop here is 2 volt. Again 1 volt drops in this length. So potential at this point is 5 volt. Since 1 volt here 1 volt here and 1 volt here, the total potential drop in this length is 3 volt. So total potential drop in this length is 3 volt and so on. Since potential drops across the wire, potential at these points decreases, but the potential drop in the wire increases. So when we move from left to right, length of the potentiometer wire and potential drop both increases, which is the principle of potentiometer. Connect a cell such that its positive terminal to end A and its negative terminal to galvanometer. Then from galvanometer to jockey, jockey can move over the potentiometer wire. This is the secondary circuit of the potentiometer experiment. As we discussed before, this is the primary circuit of the potentiometer experiment. Move jockey from end A over the potentiometer wire when the potential drop in the wire is equal to the EMF of the cell. Galvanometer shows zero deflection. Since now the cell is not sending current through the galvanometer, cell is open circuit and hence now we are measuring the EMF of the cell, not the potential difference of the cell. When galvanometer shows null deflection, then EMF of the cell equals potential drop across the length AC of the potentiometer wire, which equals potential drop in unit length into length AC. Since potential drop in unit length is potential gradient, E equals potential gradient into length of AC. Since the symbol of potential gradient is K and length AC is L, E equals K into L. Since K is a proportionality constant, E proportional to L. Thus, when the cell is in open circuit, its EMF is proportional to the corresponding balancing length, means the length of the potentiometer wire from end A to the point where we are keeping jockey on the wire for the zero deflection in the galvanometer. Consider next circuit. Compared to the previous circuit, here in secondary circuit, the cell is connected to a resistance R dash. Since the cell sends current through this resistance, now we are measuring the potential difference of the cell, not the EMF of the cell. Move jockey from end A over the potentiometer wire. When potential drop in the wire is equal to the potential difference of the cell, then galvanometer shows zero deflection. So when galvanometer shows zero deflection, then potential difference of the cell equals potential drop across length AD. Now to represent the potential difference of the cell, we can use V. And potential drop across length AD is potential drop in unit length into length AD. So V equals potential drop in unit length into length AD. But potential drop in unit length is potential gradient K and length AD is L dash. So V equals K into L dash. Since K is a proportionality constant, V proportional to L dash. Thus, when the cell is in closed circuit, its potential difference is proportional to the corresponding balancing length. Means the length of the potentiometer wire from end A to the point where we are keeping the jockey on this wire for the zero deflection in the galvanometer. Now we can discuss about the opposite deflections of the galvanometer in a potentiometer experiment. This is the potentiometer wire. It is its primary circuit, and this is its secondary circuit. Since in secondary circuit cell is in closed circuit, we can measure the potential difference of the cell, and here it is 4 volt. We know that jockey can move over the potentiometer wire. So now first we are keeping jockey at X, which is close to A. Then the potential drop in this wire AX is less than the potential difference of the cell. Hence, current flows through the galvanometer in one direction and galvanometer needle deflects into one side. Now keep jockey at Z, which is close to B. Then the potential drop in the wire AZ is greater than the potential difference of the cell. Hence, current flows through the galvanometer in opposite direction and galvanometer needle deflects into other side. Now, galvanometer shows opposite deflections when we keep jockey at its opposite ends. This is the method to check the correctness of the circuit connections. Because if we are getting these opposite deflections, then there will be a point in potentiometer wire, so that when we keep jockey there, galvanometer shows no deflection, which needed for our experiment part. Now keep jockey at Y. Here the potential drop in the wire AY and potential drop of the cell both are same. So current not flows through the galvanometer. So when there is no current through the galvanometer, potential drop in the wire of particular length is equal to the potential difference of the cell. Comparison of the EMFs of two cells by using a potentiometer. Consider a circuit as shown in the figure. AB is the potentiometer wire. From end A, connect a wire to the positive terminals of the driving cell or battery. From negative terminal of battery to down of rheostat to change the current in the circuit. From up of the rheostat to the key, then from key to ammeter to check the current in the primary circuit, then from ammeter to end B of potentiometer wire. This is the primary circuit of potentiometer experiment. From end A, connect two wires to the positive terminals of two cells. From its negative terminals to two endpoints of the double way key. Here, this is the double way key. Its advantage is if we close only the gap between 1 and 3, cell having EMF E1 only includes in the circuit. Instead of this, if we are closing only the gap between 3 and 2, only the cell having EMF E2 includes in the circuit. Continue our connections from middle part of the double way key, that is from point 3 to galvanometer. Then from galvanometer to jockey, which can slide over the potentiometer wire. This is the secondary circuit of the potentiometer experiment. After inserting the plug in any one of the gap of double way key, we are taking the balancing point when galvanometer shows zero deflection. Since cell is not sending any current into the galvanometer, we are measuring the EMF of the cell, not the potential difference of the cell, which is proportional to the corresponding balancing length, that is E proportional to L, or E equal to K into L. This formula we are using in this experiment. Now we can discuss about the experimental part. Ensure the correctness of the circuit by the opposite deflection in the galvanometer after keeping the jockey at a point near A as well as at a point near B. Insert the plug in the gap between 1 and 3 so that E1 belongs in the circuit. Move the jockey over potentiometer wire from end A till galvanometer shows null deflection. After getting null deflection in galvanometer, measure the length from end A to the point where galvanometer shows null deflection. This we can taken as L1. Then, according to the relation between EMF and balancing length that we just discussed, we can write E1 equals K into L1. Now, remove the plug from gap 1 and 3 and insert the plug in the gap between 2 and 3 so that E2 belongs in the circuit. Move jockey over potentiometer wire from end A till galvanometer shows null deflection. After getting null deflection in galvanometer, measure the length from end A to the point where galvanometer shows null deflection, which we can taken as L2. Again, according to the relation between EMF and balancing length, we can write E2 equal to K into L2. When we divide these two equations, we will get E2 divided by E1 equal to L2 divided by L1. This is the expression for the comparison of EMFs of two cells. If we know EMF of one cell, we can write the above formula as E2 equal to L2 divided by L1 into E1. After measuring balancing length L1, also balancing length L2, and by the knowing value of E1, we can find the unknown value E2 by using this formula. Next application of potentiometer is to determine the internal resistance of a cell. The primary circuit of the potentiometer is same as that we discussed in the previous case, but there is a change in the secondary circuit. In secondary circuit, connection is starting from end A of the potentiometer wire to the positive terminal of the cell. Then from negative terminal of the cell to the jockey which can move over the potentiometer wire. Again, there is one more connection from the positive terminal of the cell to the resistance box, then from resistance box to the key, again from key to the negative terminal of the cell. Ensure the connections of the circuit by the opposite deflection in the galvanometer after keeping jockey at point near A as well as at a point near B. When key K1 is removed, the cell is in the open circuit. This time cell is having EMF E. Now move the jockey from end A till galvanometer shows null deflection. After seeing null deflection in the galvanometer, measure the distance from end A to the point where galvanometer shows null deflection by using a meter scale. Let it be L1. We know in open circuit when galvanometer shows null deflection, EMF of a cell is proportional to the corresponding balancing length. That is E proportional to L1 or E equals K into L1. Then insert key K1 in the circuit and take a particular resistance capital R from the resistance box. Now the cell is sending current into the resistance, so cell is in the closed circuit. This time cell is having potential difference V. Move the jockey from end A till galvanometer shows null deflection. After seeing null deflection in galvanometer, measure the distance from end A to the point where galvanometer shows null deflection by using a meter scale. Let it be L2. We know in closed circuit when galvanometer shows null deflection, potential difference of the cell is proportional to the corresponding balancing length. That is V proportional to L2 or V equals K into L2. Now divide above two equations. Then E divided by V equals L1 divided by L2. We know the internal resistance of the cell is small letter r equals E divided by V minus 1 into capital letter R. Substitute L1 by L2 instead of E by V. Then R equals L1 by L2 minus 1 into R. After taking the cross multiplication, the internal resistance of cell R equals external resistance capital R into L1 minus L2 divided by L2. By knowing the value of resistance taken from the resistance box, that is capital R, and by measuring the balancing lengths L1 and L2 by using meter scale, we can measure internal resistance of the cell by using this formula.